There is a fifth dimension, beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone.
The ancient land of Kem was once a colony of Atlantis during the Atlantean era. After the cataclysmic fall of the Atlantean civilization, it became a sanctuary of preserved knowledge, an Atlantean stronghold of wisdom and power, as recorded in the Edfu texts. Long before the rise of the pharaohs, before the pyramids were hijacked by the Anunnaki, there was a war. A forgotten war fought not only beneath the sands of Egypt, but also in the skies above the Giza Plateau. Buried within the Duat, Earth's crystalline underworld, and echoed across the heavens, a battle raged between the lion-headed Urmah and the shadow forces of Seth. The war was not myth, it was interdimensional. A collision of empires from Sirius and Orion fought across land, sky, and the inner Earth. And it was here, in the resonance chambers of the Duat under Giza, in the skies thunderstruck above the Giza pyramids, and in the now sunken halls of the great Atlantis, that history was nearly erased. From the Sirius system came the Urmah, majestic lion-headed beings, half warrior, half priest, chosen by the Source to uphold galactic balance. These luminous protectors, allies of the Amashutum and defenders of life-bearing worlds, heard Earth's cry as its stargates fell under threat. Long before the rise of human civilizations, before the deluge and the fall of Atlantis, the Urmah descended, not as conquerors, but as guardians. They forged sacred alliances with the early Earth colonies and constructed vast crystalline hubs deep beneath the surface. These underground complexes beneath Giza, Saqqara, and Abydos were not tombs, but resonant temples, chambers of frequency, water, magnetism, and light. This network, later known as the Duat, served as a Stargate system, an interdimensional transit highway for those who could master sound, intention, and geometry. The events described in the Edfu texts refer to an extremely ancient period, long before the historical Egypt we know. This era is the pre-Diluvian age, when the Earth was not yet ruled by humans, but by powerful extraterrestrial beings, which are what we call today the gods, the Neteru of ancient Egypt. During this time, Atlantis already existed, not as a mythical island, but as a powerful interstellar colony and strategic hub established by the Amashutum, a reptilian matriarchal race, and their allies. The Amashutum were among the oldest and most advanced beings in Park's cosmology. They were reptilian, yes, but not inherently malevolent. They had highly developed spiritual and genetic technologies. The Urmah, feline warriors from the constellation of Sirius, served as cosmic protectors and guardians of divine order. The Urmah and the Amashutum shared a sacred alliance, one based on mutual respect, advanced science, and spiritual sovereignty. In the ancient conflicts described by Anton Parks, the Amashutum often relied on the Urmah for protection during interstellar wars, while the Urmah respected the Amashutum's role as creators and keepers of genetic memory. Together, they upheld the balance between biological mastery and cosmic law, and played a central role in the defense of Atlantean outposts such as Egypt or Kemet against the invasive forces of Seth, Enlil, and his faction. See the books, The Secret of the Dark Stars, The Genesis of Adam, The Awakening of the Phoenix by Anton Parks. Earth was prepared for galactic integration until darkness arrived. also known as Enlil, a tyrant from the Orion Alliance, invaded Atlantis. With him came a legion of reptilian troops and bioengineered hybrids. Their goal, take control of Earth's resonance grid and its stargates. At the heart of Kem, Egypt, stood the Great Pyramid, not merely a symbol of power, but a conduit of interdimensional energy. Seth sought to control this nexus, to bend it to his will, and with it, access to the infinite knowledge and power of the stars. But the Urmah were not far behind. They had sensed the disturbance, the dark tide rising from Orion. As the first cataclysmic waves of war shattered the tranquil skies of Atlantis, the Urmah mobilized. With their fire ships, they descended from the heavens to battle Seth's forces, both in the skies above Atlantis, Giza, and in the vast crystalline tunnels beneath the Giza Plateau. The skies turned to fire as energy weapons clashed. Draconic craft from Orion engaged the Urmah's celestial warriors in a brutal aerial battle above Atlantis, while the ground trembled with the roar of cosmic forces. But it wasn't just the surface of Atlantis that was torn asunder. The very fabric of reality began to bend, as sound-based weapons and resonance chambers activated, twisting time and space. Beneath the ancient lands of Kemet, under Giza and temples like Abydos and Saqqara, sprawled a labyrinth known as the Duat, an underground crystalline network engineered to resonate with sound, frequency, and consciousness. But what most historians have forgotten, or perhaps ignored, is that the Duat was not just symbolic, it was real. And during the First Great War of Earth, it became a battleground. Inside the Duat, sacred resonance chambers originally used for healing and interdimensional transport were turned into kill zones. Crystals shattered, gateways collapsed, light itself bent as weaponized sound was unleashed. But the war was never limited to the underworld. Above the pyramids, starships of the Urmah clashed with serpentine crafts aligned with Seth. Plasma arcs lit up the sky. The electromagnetic field around the Great Pyramid flickered under the strain of exotic weaponry. The sacred geometries of the land, aligned with Orion, Sirius, became strategic nodes. Seth's forces attempted to hijack the resonance grid to control the entire planetary field. But the most decisive front may have been far from Egypt, in the lost land of Atlantis. Once a stronghold of knowledge, Atlantis had fractured, part of it aligned with the Urmah and the Keepers of the Flame, the other corrupted by Seth, aka Enlil. In the depths of Atlantean chambers, similar to those under Giza, battles raged for control over ancient crystalline engines. The stakes were cosmic, control over stargates that could bend time, space, and even rewrite memory. These multi-front battles, from the tunnels of the Duat to the sands of Giza to the skies and even Atlantis, were part of a single war. A war to protect the original Earth grid from being rewritten by invaders who wanted to enslave time itself. And though the Urmah fought with unmatched bravery to safeguard the dimensional technologies buried beneath Giza, history, as always, was rewritten by the victors. The Anunnaki, led by Seth, took possession of the Giza Plateau, seized the Stargate control systems, and occupied the vast network of tunnels. They did not destroy the pyramids, they repurposed them. No longer gateways to the stars, the pyramids became instruments of domination, repurposed for rituals, energy harvesting, and the containment of human consciousness. The true legacy of the Urmah was buried beneath layers of stone, sand, and deception. The Great Pyramid of Giza, a colossal structure of stone, crystal, and hidden frequencies. To the untrained eye, it's a tomb, a monument to kings. But to those who dare to look deeper, it is much more. The pyramid, as Anton Parks describes, is not just an ancient tomb, but a dimensional gateway, a stargate, constructed with advanced technology lost to time. The Duat, the underworld of Egypt, was built around this technology, hidden beneath the sands and tunnels of resonance, where water, sound, and crystal converge to create portals to other realms. The Great Pyramid was not a tomb, it was a machine. Engineered with surgical precision, its internal structure functioned as a harmonic energy reactor. According to Christopher Dunn, its granite components, rich in quartz, acted as piezoelectric elements. When subjected to mechanical stress from deep vibrational frequencies, they generated electrical energy. This resonance was no accident. Water channels beneath the pyramid and traces of chemical residues suggest a thermochemical process, possibly involving hydrogen gas, which filled the king's chamber. The movement of water through these subterranean channels, combined with acoustic energy from the Earth's own tectonic vibrations, created a pressure wave system that induced oscillations in the chambers. These oscillations, focused within the Grand Gallery and funneled into the king's chamber, would have activated the granite blocks, converting mechanical energy into electricity via piezoelectricity. This dynamic environment, a chamber filled with hydrogen gas, resonating frequencies, and piezoelectric discharge, turned the king's chamber into a plasma resonance cavity. It was, in effect, a controlled zero-point energy zone. William Henry refers to this central axis as the Pillar of Osiris, a Stargate device embedded within the architecture. The so-called Jed Pillar wasn't just symbolic. It was the technological spinal column of the pyramid, designed to stabilize and channel vertical energy currents. Combined with the Earth's electromagnetic field, this energy system could open temporary rifts in space-time, creating dimensional portals. The pyramid was a stellar engine, aligning with specific stars like Sirius, Orion, the Pleiades, and the Bull constellation, as indicated on the stone after the Gantenbrink's door in the northern shaft in the Queen's chamber, linked to my research in description, acting as both receiver and transmitter. This was advanced technology, capable of manipulating frequency, matter, and space-time itself. Originally controlled by the Urmah, the feline warriors from Sirius, this Stargate infrastructure became a prime target for the Anunnaki, who sought to seize control of it to dominate Earth's energy grids and manipulate interdimensional travel for their own agendas. Together, these theories suggest that the Great Pyramid, with its sacred geometry and precise alignment, was designed to amplify Earth's frequencies, acting as a resonating mechanism to open dimensional doors. The ancient Egyptians, and possibly the Lion people, the Urmah, understood the interplay of energy, sound, and water, creating a gateway to the stars, a cosmic bridge that still holds secrets waiting to be unlocked. The groundbreaking research of Corrado Malanga and Prof Biondi, using SAR synthetic aperture radar, revealed vast subterranean structures beneath the Great Pyramid, the Pyramid of Khafre, and the entire Giza Plateau. These included multi-level cavities, artificial chambers, and tunnels, exactly the kind of layout described by Anton Parks as the 7 underground levels originally built by the Urmah. After the war between the Urmah and the Anunnaki, it was Enlil, identified with the figure of Seth, who seized control of Giza. The Anunnaki repurposed the ancient base. What was once a high-frequency interdimensional portal system became a sealed and reprogrammed complex under their dominion. According to Parks, the subterranean levels, once resonant chambers and Stargate control rooms, were later reconfigured into what became known in Egyptian lore as the Duat. These were referred to as the Halls of Amenti by Thoth, the Atlantean priest king. Thoth, although of Anunnaki origin, is portrayed by Parks as a complex figure who, after the conquest of Giza, sought to preserve fragments of the ancient knowledge. Among the most enigmatic elements was Level 4, which, according to Parks, housed not only control centers and dimensional technology, but possibly even ancient spacecraft. This level may also have functioned as a series of jump rooms, dimensional transit nodes powered by resonance fields, piezoelectric crystals, and electromagnetic chambers, a kind of technology that whistleblowers like Andrew Basiago claim was later replicated in secret military programs with the jump room. Giza, then, was not only the spiritual heart of ancient Egypt, but a multidimensional transportation hub inherited, reprogrammed, and obscured by those who rewrote history. Bill Brown's work, alongside Trevor Grassi's findings, adds another layer to this mystery. During excavations beneath Giza, Brown uncovered strange black boxes hidden in the tunnels, objects emitting high-frequency vibrations. These black boxes could be ancient devices used to regulate the energy flow between the pyramid and the surrounding sites. Some suggest these boxes were part of a larger network, a kind of energetic grid spanning the underground levels of Giza and beyond. Similar massive stone boxes were found in the Serapeum of Saqqara, perfectly cut granite sarcophagi weighing over 70 tons, whose true function remains a mystery. Could these two have been part of the same energetic infrastructure? Are they the key to unlocking the true power of the pyramid and the forgotten science of the ancients? These black boxes, coupled with the resonance chambers beneath the pyramid and the Duat, reveal a much more complex and intentional design than we could have ever imagined. They were not just relics of a lost civilization. They were part of an ancient technology capable of tapping into the very fabric of the cosmos, opening gateways to distant worlds, and perhaps even shifting between dimensions. Could these devices and the resonance technology of the pyramid be the keys to understanding the true purpose of the Duat under Giza? And what secrets do these ancient portals still hold? The answers lie in the vibrations of the earth, the water beneath our feet, and the forgotten resonance of the pyramid, a gateway to the stars and beyond. Deep beneath the Giza Plateau, far below the known archaeological layers, lies a forbidden zone of ancient technology, what Anton Parks refers to as the fourth level. But this is just one layer in a vast, multi-tiered system. 7 subterranean levels, constructed in forgotten epochs by pre-Diluvian civilizations. This is not myth. Recent subterranean radar scans, conducted by Corrado Malanga and Luciano Biondi using advanced SAR synthetic aperture radar, have revealed the undeniable. A vast network of underground tunnels and chambers beneath both the Pyramid of Khafre and the Great Pyramid of Khufu. The images match Parks's descriptions with astonishing precision, showing clear stratification beneath Giza. These chambers, including what Parks called the Halls of Amenti, are real, and they are not natural. The fourth level, in particular, was not a tomb or storage space. It was a dimensional interface hub, a jump room, powered by a fusion of resonance physics, crystalline piezoelectricity, and controlled electromagnetic fields. This technology was designed for interdimensional travel, allowing for the instantaneous movement between distant locations, not just within the Earth, but possibly to other planets or even other dimensions. Whistleblowers like Andrew Basiago and others have described similar jump room technology, claiming that such systems were used by secret programs to transport individuals across vast distances in the blink of an eye. These reports align with the theories proposed by researchers like William Henry, who suggests that the Urmah constructed such portals as a means of safeguarding the Earth's dimensional gateways. The technology was so advanced that it became a target for the Anunnaki, who sought to control it for their own gain. Granite chambers lined with quartz were designed to respond to specific vibrational frequencies, enhanced by flowing water and perhaps even ionized gases, just as theorized by Christopher Dunn in his analysis of the Great Pyramid as a functional machine. When properly activated, this system could have generated localized gravity modulation, enabling quantum tunneling or dimensional travel. Only beings with the correct genetic frequency signature, such as the Urmah or the Amashuddam, could safely interface with the controls. Others attempting unauthorized access might trigger distortions in local spacetime or activate automatic shutdown sequences. The presence of water pathways, harmonic nodes, and crystal-lined corridors aligns with the theories by William Henry, who identifies the Jed Pillar, also called the Pillar of Osiris, as a central device within the King's Chamber, a resonance column capable of opening wormholes through the alignment of sound, water, and intention. Everything points to one truth. The Giza complex was not built to honor the dead, but to bend space and time, and the fourth level was its beating heart. The tides of war turned in Seth's favor. The Urmah fought valiantly, but the overwhelming power of Seth's dark technologies and his relentless forces began to erode their resistance. Atlantis, once a beacon of advanced civilization, fell beneath the weight of chaos. The crystal towers shattered, the sacred resonance chambers collapsed, and the sacred grid of Stargates was taken under Seth's control. But the war did not end in the destruction of Atlantis alone. Seth's victory was not just in the fall of a city, it was in rewriting the very history of the Earth. The true nature of the Great Pyramid, once a grand stargate and a conduit of interdimensional travel, was buried beneath layers of myth. The resonance chambers that had served as passageways to other worlds were sealed, hidden from the world's memory. The Duat, once a sacred realm of travel and knowledge, became something far darker. The ancient network of tunnels, once filled with the energies of the cosmos, was transformed into a prison, a land of the dead, where the knowledge of the ancients was locked away, forgotten by time. Seth's forces then moved swiftly to erase all traces of the truth. The knowledge of the Stargates, the crystal technologies, and the true nature of the pyramids were sealed behind veils of deception. History was rewritten, and those who sought to uncover the truth were silenced. The pharaohs who would rise after Atlantis' fall were mere pawns in Seth's grand design. They were kept in the dark, their power given in exchange for loyalty to the forces that controlled them. The history of Egypt, and by extension the world, became a distorted reflection of the truth, twisted to hide the deep, cosmic war that had once taken place. But as with all things, the truth cannot remain buried forever. New voices, new seekers have begun to unravel the ancient secrets once thought lost. From the work of non-aligned researchers, the forgotten chambers beneath Giza are being rediscovered. The waters once believed to be mere symbols now reveal their true purpose. They are more than just liquid, they are conduits of interdimensional power. Beneath the sands of Egypt, crystalline water flows through resonant chambers, chambers built to harness the frequencies of the universe. This water, combined with the sound frequencies of the pyramids, activates a network that leads to the stars, to other worlds, and to the ancient knowledge that was once hidden. The Dogon, with their wisdom passed down through millennia, knew this secret. They spoke of the Sumerian connection and the role of water as a key to interdimensional travel. And now, the puzzle pieces are falling into place. But why now? Why is this knowledge resurfacing? The answer lies in the very frequency of the Earth itself. The cycle of time is completing, and the ancient ones, the Urmah, the builders of the first Stargates, are calling us to remember, to reconnect, to awaken. The War of Atlantis is not merely a tale of gods and myths. It is the hidden chapter of our past, a battle fought beneath the surface of time itself. A battle for control over the most powerful force known to humanity, our connection to the stars, to the frequencies that govern life itself. The Urmah fought for freedom, for the preservation of humanity's true potential, and for the knowledge that was stolen. But the story does not end in the ashes of forgotten history. It calls to us now, in the hum of the earth, in the pulse of water, and in the alignment of the stars. The Duat, once a place of death, is now a place of resurrection. The ancient gates, once sealed, are beginning to stir, and those who seek the truth will find that it has been here, beneath our feet, all along. The time has come for us to reclaim the legacy of the Urmah, to uncover the secrets that have been hidden in plain sight. The knowledge of the pyramids, the resonance, and the stargates, it is ours, T. Hidden deep beneath the sands of Giza lies a multi-tiered structure, a forgotten legacy of pre-dynastic Egypt. According to Anton Parks, the Giza Plateau conceals 7 underground levels, carved not by human hands, but by a technologically advanced feline race from Sirius, known as the Urmah. These levels were originally excavated in a distant epoch, when the Mediterranean Sea flooded Kemet. The Urmah engineered them as part of a vast interdimensional complex, not as tombs, but as a fully operational underground base of immense technological sophistication. According to Parks, Level 1 housed prisoners and certain castes of priestly administrators. Level 2 contained artificial rivers connected to the Nile, along with sacred bio, domes, and gardens. Level 3 served as living quarters for hybrid beings born of unions between the so-called gods and early humans. Level 4, the heart of the system, reserved for the Urmah and divine royalty. It held Stargate control rooms, resonance matrices, and dimensional calibration devices. Lower levels 5 to 7 included atmosphere regulators, magnetic field stabilizers, crystalline power systems, and possibly portal amplifiers utilizing water quartz and sonic vibration. These are not mere myths. Using synthetic aperture radar SR, Italian researchers from Malanga and Biondi identified a vast array of underground cavities, conduits, and massive chambers beneath the pyramids of Khafre and Khufu. The radar imagery shows multi-stratified layers, strongly echoing Park's descriptions of the 7-level infrastructure. In these radar slices, the levels are visible like a technological onion buried beneath Giza. Further supporting this, Bill Brown reported the discovery of sealed corridors and massive black stone boxes beneath the plateau, whose purpose remains unknown. Anton Parks connects these finds with symbolic carvings, such as a 7-step doorway found at Saqqara, interpreting them as literal depictions of the layered underworld, not just spiritual metaphors. If Parks is right, then Giza was never simply a necropolis. It was a multi-dimensional control center, constructed by the Urmah as part of a planetary network of stargates and genetic laboratories, a secret buried beneath our feet and rewritten by later powers as myth. What later traditions called the Duat, the mysterious underworld of Egyptian mythology, may in fact have been an ancient, deep underground base designed not for burial, but for interdimensional operations. A secure, multi-leveled command facility housing jump rooms, spacecraft, and energetic interfaces tied to both planetary and cosmic grids. The so-called Duat, a term traditionally associated with the Egyptian underworld, may now be understood in a much different light. As a DMB under the control of the Anunnaki, it would have been the perfect location for storing and manipulating powerful artifacts, controlling ancient technologies, and perhaps even stabilizing the fabric of space-time itself. In this light, the Duat may not only represent the mythological realm of the dead, but a high-security, subterranean complex hidden from the world, shielding the most advanced and potentially dangerous technologies of the ancient world, converted into a sealed structure of containment and control, encoding its original purpose within layers of myth and esoteric symbolism. Giza, then, was not only the ceremonial heart of Kemet, but a technological stronghold hidden in plain sight. In ancient texts, the Duat is often described as an underworld, a hidden domain beneath the earth. But what if this underworld wasn't under our feet, but beyond our dimension? Researcher Massimo Barbetta offers a radical reinterpretation. The Duat is not just a system of tunnels below Giza, but a cosmic corridor, a network of Kuert or wormholes used to traverse vast distances across the stars. In this vision, the journey of Ra through the Duat, so vividly illustrated in the Egyptian Book of the Dead, is not the path of a soul into the afterlife, but the trajectory of a spacecraft or consciousness traveling through an interdimensional passage. These wormholes would allow instant travel between Earth and distant star systems, such as Orion or Sirius, encoded in myth as the celestial destinations of the gods. If Barbetta is right, then the Duat is not only below the sand, it's a deep space highway, remembered in stone and myth. You can find more details about this topic in the video linked in the description.
I'm in another wormhole now! I had no idea. A series of them! They're alive. It's like some kind of a transit system! Okay, I gotta keep talking. It's a triple, no, quadruple system.